Step wells. A millennium ago, step wells were fundamental to life in the driest parts of India. Richard Cox traveled to northwestern India to document these spectacular monuments from a bygone era. During the 6th and 7th centuries, the inhabitants of the modern-day states of Gujarat and Rajasthan in northwestern India developed a method of gaining access to clean, fresh groundwater during the dry season for drinking, bathing, watering animals, and irrigation. However, the significance of this invention, the step well, goes beyond its utilitarian application. Unique to this region, step wells are often architecturally complex and vary widely in size and shape. During their heyday, they were places of gathering of leisure and relaxation and of worship for villagers of all but the lowest classes. Most step wells are found dotted around the desert areas of Gujarat, where they are called Vav, and Rajasthan, where they are called Bari. While a few also survive in Delhi, some were located in or near villages as public spaces for the community. Others were positioned beside roads as resting places for travelers. As the name suggests, step wells comprise a series of stone steps descending from ground level to the water source, normally an underground aquifer, as it recedes following the rains when the water level was high. The user needed only to descend a few steps to reach it. When it was low, several levels would have to be negotiated. Some wells are vast, open craters with hundreds of steps paving each sloping side. Often in tiers, others are more elaborate, with long step passages leading to the water via several stories, built from stone and supported by pillars. They also included pavilions that sheltered visitors from the relentless heat. But perhaps the most impressive features are the intricate, decorative sculptures that embellish many stepwells, showing activities from fighting and dancing to everyday acts such as women combing their hair or churning butter. Down the centuries, thousands of wells were constructed throughout northwestern India, but the majority have now fallen into disuse. Many are derelict and dry, as groundwater has been diverted for industrial use and the wells no longer reach the water table. Their condition hasn't been helped by recent dry spells. Southern Rajasthan suffered an 8-year drought between 1996 and 2004. However, some important sites in Gujarat have recently undergone major restoration, and the state government announced in June last year that it plans to restore the stepwells throughout the state. In Patan, the state's ancient capital, the stepwell of Rani Ki Vav, Queen's Stepwell, is perhaps the finest current example. It was built by Queen Udayamati during the late 11th century, but became silted up following a flood during the 13th century. But the Archaeological Survey of India began restoring it in the 1960s, and today it is in pristine condition. At 65 meters long, 20 meters wide, and 27 meters deep, Rani Ki Vav features 500 sculptures carved into niches throughout the monument. Incredibly, in January 2001, this ancient structure survived an earthquake that measured 7.6 on the Richter scale. And another example is the Surya Kund in Modhera, northern Gujarat, next to the Sun Temple built by King Bhima I in 1026 to honor the sun god Surya. It actually resembles a tank. Kund means reservoir or pond, rather than a well, but displays the hallmarks of step well architecture, including 4 sides of steps that descends to the bottom in a stunning geometrical formation. The traces house 108 small, intricately carved shields between the sets of steps. Rajasthan also has a wealth of wells. The ancient city of Bondi, 200 kilometers south of Jaipur, is renowned for its architecture, including its step wells. One of the large examples is Ranji Ki Bauri, which was built by the king of the region, Netawati, in 1699. At 46 meters deep, 20 meters wide, and 40 meters long, the intricately carved monument is one of 21 Bauris commissioned in the Bondi area by Netawataji. In the old ruined town of Abhanri, about 95 kilometers east of Jaipur, is Chand Bauri, one of India's oldest and deepest wells. Aesthetically, it's perhaps one of the most dramatic, built in around 850 AD next to the temple of Harshad Mata. The Bauri comprises hundreds of zigzagging steps that run along 3 of its sides, steeply descending 11 stories, resulting in a striking pattern when seen from afar. On the 4th side, verandas, which are supported by ornate pillars, overlook the steps. Still in public use is Nimarana Ki Bauri, located just off the Jaipur-Delhi highway. Constructed around 1700, it is 9 stories deep, with the last 2 being underwater. At ground level, there are 86 colonnade openings from where the visitor descends 170 steps to the deepest water source. Today, following years of neglect, many of these monuments to medieval engineering have been saved by the Archaeological Survey of India, which has recognized the importance of preserving them as part of the country's rich history. Tourists flock to wells in far-flung corners of northwestern India to gaze and wonder at these architectural marvels from hundreds of years ago, which serve as a reminder of both the ingenuity and artistry of ancient civilizations and of the value of water to human existence.